a Latvian braid, you're going to begin with one row of just knitting in two alternating colors with different color values for contrast. Now you'll probably be working on a garment or an accessory knitted in the round, but I'm just using a flat swatch here. And I've come to the end of my row, so I'm going to do a little bit of mock knitting in the round to demonstrate this. So I'm just going to slide my stitches over, and this is where the yarn can get a little tricky, just getting it situated. But I'm going to pull out a length and bring it over here. So I'm back at the beginning of the row and I don't have to work the reverse side. Now, a Latvian braid is basically worked by purling into the front of a stitch. So I'm going to hold on to my yarn here and begin. And I'm going to purl with the brown yarn because I have a brown stitch first on my needle. So I simply purl the brown yarn. And then I drop this yarn and I take the pink and I go behind and over the brown and I work that stitch, purling in the front again. I drop it, I take the brown behind and over, and I purl that stitch. I drop the brown, I take the pink behind and over, and I purl that stitch. I drop the pink, take the brown, and so on. And I work entirely across my row, or for most purposes, across or around my round. And you'll begin to see a pretty little detail begin to emerge. But this is essentially half of the Latvian braid. So we have to work a whole row in this manner. And you'll see that your yarn may begin to twist. In theory, when you work the next row, the yarn will untwist on its own, but honestly, I haven't had much luck with that. I tend to just take a pause now and then and untwist the yarn as I work it. So again, I purl, I drop the yarn, I take my contrast behind and over, and then I begin to get this pretty little detail. Okay, so I've worked my first row of the left-leaning braid, and you can see the pretty detail showing up. And I'm back at the beginning of the row. I'm doing that mock knitting in the round, and I've untwisted my working yarn, which was raveled around itself. Or the two pieces were raveled around each other. So now I'm going to purl my first stitch using the brown color as we did before. So I purl the stitch, but I drop my yarn, and rather than taking the pink behind and over like this, like I did before, I'm going to take the pink in front and under. And I purl the first stitch. I drop the pink yarn and I take the brown in front, and over. The first couple stitches here are kind of difficult to see because you've got these loose ends here and so forth. But once I straighten this up, it should be a little easier. So I drop the brown, I take the pink, and it goes under the brown. Kind of in front of the brown is how I think of it, and under. And then I drop it, and I take the brown, and I take the brown under, like so, and then up, and I purl the next stitch. Again, I drop the pink, or rather I drop the brown, I pick up the pink, it goes under the brown, and I purl it. I drop it, I take the brown, it goes under the pink. So you can see the two here. The brown is here, it goes under, and then I purl the next stitch. Drop the brown, take the pink under the brown in the front. Sometimes these little strands of yarn getting twisted around each other can be a bit annoying. And then I do that, purl like so. I take that brown and continue in that same manner. And you begin to see your pretty braid emerging. Here you can see the braid emerging after I've knit a few rows of stockinette. And it's a really pretty treatment, a very easy addition to your knitted project.